Okay. Can you say action?
No.
I don't want to start until you say action. Action. Just say that. Action.
Say please.
Please say action.
Action.
Hello, my awakening friends. I would love for you and I to dance with a very important song today, if you will. The song of the pursuit of happiness. The pursuit of happiness. From my perspective, that's what a lot of you and I are doing. And sometimes we do a heck of a lot more pursuing than we do being happy. So let's take a look at why that is and how you and I can find more happiness rather than just trying to pursue it. One of the first considerations we might take a look at is, am I pursuing happiness where happiness isn't? Am I pursuing it where it is? Or am I pursuing happiness where I think it is, but it's actually not there? So as we start to consider, wow, am I looking for happiness where it's not? Just because I'm all excited and ambitious about pursuing happiness, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, or whatever George Washington said. Maybe that was Hitler, I don't know. I didn't really have much formal education. But anyway, just because we're all excited about finding happiness where we think it is doesn't necessarily mean it's there. So as I'm figuring out how not to slobber all over myself, I would like to get a little bit judgmental. Are you ready for my judgments? Here they are. Oh, I judge these judgments to be good negative judgments. What I would consider to be an awful question to ask ourselves in order to not find happiness is this: what makes you happy? You say, JP, I think that's a cool question. Well, I want to be judgmental and call that a bad question. Why do I judge that to be a bad question? I don't know that happiness is found in a what. What makes me happy? Perhaps we're putting happiness, by the seduction of that question, we're putting our happiness automatically where it's not, in a what. Or a synonymous question is, do what makes you happy. Well, what if happiness isn't found in a doing? If happiness isn't found in a doing, if it's not found in a what, where is it found? Well, I would dare say your human heart is the generator of your happiness. It's the voice that sings the song of this beautiful emotion called happiness. So I don't think your heart is found in a what. I don't think your heart is found in a doing. I think your heart is found inside of you. And as I'm listening to this message, I think this is an incredibly basic message that if you even halfway agree with it, it's probably not telling you anything you didn't know. I would guess, at least for me, it's telling me things I know that I just tend to not remember that I know. I need to be reminded often that perhaps the only thing that can make me happy is me. Me. I make me happy, says my caveman vocabulary in this moment. Better yet, my human heart is, again, it's maybe the voice that sings the song of happiness. The pursuit of happiness. Am I looking for it outside? Am I looking for it actually anywhere that's not my heart? If so, there's a decent chance that I'm not going to find happiness there. And please make no mistake, by no means am I advocating, well, sit in a room isolated and just look inward. Don't go out and do anything in your life. Don't create pursuits in your life. Just look in your heart for happiness. No, I'm not at all advocating a life of passivity or a life where we don't see our doings and the what's of our life to be purposeful. I think that's incredibly important. It's just like the flower. Maybe the flower's happiness is found inside of it. It's the sap coursing through the flower. Yet the flower, it still functions on its outer life. It still blooms. It still expands. So you and I still want to do our blossoming and our expanding. Maybe doing ourselves the justice of not seducing ourselves into believing that pursuing something or expanding ourselves, our reach, or acquiring new things, believing that that's actually going to be what creates our happiness. I know for me, I've spent a lot of time doing that where I seduce myself into believing if I make this much money, that's going to make me happy. If I accomplish this in my professional life and acquire this in my personal life, that's going to make me happy. I would dare say, when I look for happiness where it's not, I encounter inevitably a lot of hollowness, where I've set goals to make however much money, and I've made that much money, and it actually didn't make me happy. I don't regret setting the goals and accomplishing them. Yeah, I would be curious, what happens if I could wind back the clock? And while I'm looking to expand in my outer life and do the doings of my outer life, if I would simultaneously be looking inward for my happiness where it actually is. So, then what would we want to consider? Well, that's a good question. In the pursuit of happiness, I'd like to invite you to also take a journey into the pursuit of something that I consider to be even more virtuous than happiness. I don't know what I mean by more virtuous. Probably something that I would call more meaningful than happiness. Happiness is certainly an emotion, and we get very emotionally attached to things and people when our hearts generate happiness in the presence of them. So more than just looking to fill the addiction of our emotional attachment to our emotion of happiness, what I would consider even more virtuous to pursue and encounter is self-acceptance. Please, go for happiness. It's a beautiful color of the rainbow, yet I want to actually realize for my life, I want my rainbow to be multicolored, not just the color of one of my favorite emotions. I want the full spectrum of colors. So instead of trying to pursue happiness at the expense of self-medicating myself with my favorite color, happiness, I also want to aim for self-acceptance. It perhaps brings us to a place of contentment, different than happiness being a place of emotion, a place of emotional attachment. Contentment is perhaps a place beyond emotion. Contentment is maybe the eye of the hurricane. It's where the stillness, silence, and balance happens. So, contentment, accepting ourselves as we are, accepting anything we judge about ourselves, whether we judge it to be good or bad, yet accepting it. Then I would dare say, if we can find a level of self-acceptance and contentment, that gives us something very genuine, very functional to be happy about within ourselves, within our human heart. I make me happy, and I make me happy about me. What about me am I most happy about? Well, what if we learn to get happy about the contentment that we get from how we try and pursue new levels of self-acceptance? And as our green, slimy friend Yoda would say, there is no try. Do or do not. So instead of trying to pursue new levels of self-acceptance, finding new levels of self-acceptance is perhaps what Yoda would tell us if he was here. So with that said, as you pursue your happiness, I'd invite you to be very conscious in any given moment which direction you are pursuing your happiness in. If it's a direction outside of yourself, please know you're probably driving yourself further and further and further away from the source of your true happiness, which kind of means the more we try and find it, the less of it we encounter. Yet if our compass is turned inward, as we do the doings in our lives and encounter the what's in our lives, then perhaps we're actually inviting genuine happiness to find us, no matter what we're doing in our life. And maybe we can actually find new levels of happiness through the self-acceptance where we can actually be happy about ourselves when we're sad. I am happy when I'm sad. I am happy when I'm ashamed. I'm happy when I'm grieving. I'm happy when I'm grateful. If I'm in a place of self-acceptance of whatever color of the emotional rainbow is coming up for me. So with that said, I appreciate you entertaining this little bit of food for thought and food for feeling with me today as you and I are in our meaningful journey of the pursuit of our happiness. I'll be wishing you well, and also, please feel free to subscribe to my channel. If you do, I guarantee you, you will have the opportunity to be happy for the rest of your life, if that's what you choose for yourself. Thank you, my friends. I will talk to you next time.